Hello, potato.
Hello, potato.
Hello, potato. We are in downtown Sacramento, California at the safe, in name at least, credit union for SacAnime Winter 2024. It's a new year, it's a new convention, and there's a new line heading down in front of the hotel. And I suspect that's because there are some changes this year. There are some new things they're trying out, and we're going to see how they work. I have a feeling some may cause issues. Thing number one is they're totally changing the way the vendors hall is laid out. The vendors hall has been laid out pretty much the same way since they started using Safe Credit Union, or back when it was just the Sacramento Convention Center. They had the front of the hall was the vendors, the back of the hall was Artist Alley, and then generally off to one side or the other were the autographs. At the beginning they were upstairs, but in the latter years, like in the years before the demolition and remodeling of the convention center, they did already have the autographs down in the vendors hall. This year, that is changing. They're divvying up the vendors hall into, looks like, 3 different sections. The first section is going to be gaming, so video games, board games, card games, and is going to have their own vendors in there, which is a change. They'll have their own vendors in the gaming area this time. The next 2 sections, or next section, but it's going to be close to like 2 sections of the main hall, will be the normal vendors hall, but it's going to be laid out very differently. Instead of just rows up and down, there's going to be rows up and down, and then between them, there'll be short rows going at a 90-degree angle from the main rows. And then the last 2 sections of the room will be the autographs on the Artist Alley. The Artist Alley is no longer going to share space with the main vendors hall, which actually I kind of like, because I try not to record in the Artist Alley area. They generally, have signs up saying not to take photographs. I assume that means video as well. I generally only record there if I'm like getting somebody in cosplay, and I may still do that part of it, but it'll be easy to avoid accidentally recording Artist Alley stuff. Because honestly, if I've got a shot I want, I've been leaving it in. They're not the focus of it. That would be that black car right there being very loud. So, and then they're also going to have upstairs in the walkway area, the area where you couldn't sit down against the walls, where there were tables last time. They're going to have, I think it's called a style aisle. So there'll be more vendors featuring, I guess, clothing and fashionable stuff. And then I believe over here at the actual hotel itself on the 2nd floor, there's going to be the underground room, which is going to be on the 2nd floor. It's going to be underground on the 2nd floor. Is going to be the 18 plus stuff, because that's another big change. There's actually 3 big changes. Another big change is going to be that they are finally embracing the adult crowd. SacAnime seems to have an issue going back and forth over the years between whether or not they want it to be an all ages show or a show that was kind of geared more towards adults. Back in the earlier days, like the Red Lion days, the days of the yaoi paddle, they had a lot more vendors selling hentai and yaoi paddles and stuff like that. And then there were a few years in there where all of that stuff was gone. All the adult-oriented stuff was gone. The body pillows weren't there. The arguably inappropriate statuary was at least not on primary display. And those all come back. We seem to have had a lot more of the adult-oriented stuff. So now they're going to separate it off into its own area just for stuff. So we'll go check that room out. I don't know how much of that stuff we'll be able to show in the video, because being in an 18-only room, I'm guessing there won't be post-it notes over the naughty bits on the body pillows. But we'll find out. Also, they are separating panels now to specify what is all ages and what is not. So things like the Society for the Destruction of 5th Generation Pokemon, who were featured heavily in my last SacAnime video, and they are going to be back this year. They're doing the Pokemon Live panel again. I'm not sure if I'll check it out or not, because we did just see that back last summer. But it was a good panel. I may still go check it out. But they're having 18 plus panels to specify, because there were issues last year at some of the Pokemon panels from 5th Gen that people didn't know walking in that it was an adult panel, and quickly walked out once it became clear that there was a lot of swearing involved. So I think it's nice that we're actually clarifying now what is adult and what is all ages. It does look like all the all ages ones, or rather, sorry, it looks like all the adult ones are going to be in the evenings, like 6 o'clock on, which I don't like, because usually I don't stick around that late, but we'll see how things go. And then finally, the other big change, and I think is what this line refers to, or pertains to, is this is the first convention where you can buy a VIP without having to get a hotel room here at the Sheraton. It's the first time you can just add a VIP, which is a thing they honestly should have done years ago. But the problem is, and I realized this yesterday when we came to pick up our tickets. Ooh, you're very loud too, aren't you? We came to pick up our tickets. There was a line out the door, and I thought, oh wow, is this the line for just picking up pre-reg? Because I mean, the reason you come on Thursday to get your pre-reg is on Saturday the line looks at this for pre-reg, because it ends up being self-defeating to pre-reg and then come pick your tickets on the day of the show. Well, that big long line was not for pre-reg, it was for VIP pre-reg. So the VIP people had the long line, as were people like myself, who just got normal tickets, could just walk right in, get our stuff, get back out, and before we even had to pay for parking. And I feel like that's probably what this line here is for. This is probably the VIP people. I think they have sold so many VIP passes that the VIP lines are going to be longer than the regular lines. Now, what this means potentially is panels may fill up with VIP people, and people like myself will have trouble getting into like the big voice actor panels, which I don't know if I want to go into any or not. The only person here I even recognize is the guy that does Bender on Futurama, and I can't remember his name. But you know, they don't have free autographs anymore, so the VIP autograph session, which would have been the thing I would have been interested in VIP for, no longer really applies. It does get you, I think, early entry to the vendors hall tomorrow and maybe Sunday, so that's a thing. But I think they're going to find that the VIP lines are going to be as long as the regular lines used to be, and it's going to end up being kind of self-defeating. And actually, one last thing is the autographs. Pretty much everybody charges for autographs now, and like obnoxious amounts, in my opinion. You know, you're welcome to your own. But 40, 60, 80 bucks for an autograph. 80 bucks to autograph a pop. Now, I know a lot of people autograph them to resell them, but 80 bucks to autograph a Funko Pop is, I'm going to say, obscene. Sorry. I mean, I've gotten out of the autograph thing back when they had the Fast Pass where you could buy your way to the front of the line, and people who are resellers would just do that, and nobody else who wanted to get autographs for themselves could actually get up there. So it's not really affecting me, but I think like the only name I recognized in there, well, actually, one of the only names I recognized in there at all was the person who plays the voice of Bender, Jake, Captain Laserbeam. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. It's annoying, but he's an interesting guy. I've seen panels of him before. He's a fun guy to watch. But I think he's about the only one not charging for his autograph. Even some of the older people I think I have autographs from are charging now. And a lot of the ones I don't recognize at all. They're from newer shows that I haven't seen, haven't watched, haven't seen them at panels. To be honest, if I know a voice actor, it's usually because I saw them here. I may know their work, but I don't know who they are separate from the work until I see them at a convention. And these are people from shows that I generally don't watch. I haven't seen their panels before. But they're wanting 40, 60 bucks for autographs as if they were like major Hollywood celebrities. And, you know, I didn't go to some of the other conventions that used to have at the convention center here because all the autographs were that amount. So I'm glad I'm done with the autograph thing. I'm not paying somebody 40 bucks to autograph my Blu-ray or my DVD, or 80 bucks for my Funko Pop. It's just not worth it to me. But all that said, there's a lot of pre-winding here, but we are going to head on inside. I'm interested to see if this actually is the VIP line. It seems to actually have gotten quite a bit shorter while I've been talking, because I've been talking actually for a long time for an intro. So I probably should stop now. Let's go, oops. Yep, it's under the sleeve. It's trying to go wristbands up and head on inside. And yes, I am in cosplay as Red Green. I said I probably would be, and I am. So, I mean, I would say if you see me, but obviously if you're watching this video, it's at least a week after the convention's over, so you aren't going to see me, maybe in the future. But yeah, let's head on inside and see what the new year brings for this new incarnation of SacAnime.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome in. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Bam.
Okay, so inside we see our first big change here. So yeah, we have the big doors are closed. We have instead the door to Player's Paradise and the door to Exhibit Hall over there. So I don't know where we want to start. Let's start in Player's Paradise. Why not? So at the beginning, we'll go in there. This is one of the new areas. It's supposed to be focused on gaming, board games, video games, card games. And as you can see, it does have its own vendors, like the Capital Books booth is in here this time. And I can tell you already, I am incredibly warm in this costume. So I don't know how some of you cosplayers in the really heavy things do it. Okay, this actually surprises me a little bit. The arcade games, and I believe it said this is supposed to be like a free-to-play arcade, are actual arcade. I figured they would be just like a bunch of one-up mini cabinets or other emulators, but they actually seem to be real, proper arcade games. Well, some of them just seem to be maybe main cabinets, but yeah, we just actual like proper pinball machines. Star Trek, so in case of all the way, here's to be reset. What else do we have in here? Beat Mania kind of stuff. So I think I saw a DDR machine over there. Tekken. It could be a fun place to come and, you know, if you want to sit down, because I think there's still no viewing room. So it could be nice to come and sit down. Bomber Girl. Some racing cabinets. And then we have the tables. These are normally upstairs in the past for the clickable card game playing. And then, yeah, we do have some vendors. A lot of the Pokemon card vendors seem to be in here. Looks like Capital Books is up there towards the front. And so we have more video games over there. And there's supposed to be like esport tournaments going on over here. Because you'll watch people like play Street Fighter 6 and stuff on the big screen there. Or maybe it'll just be things like Overwatch 2 or Apex Legends. And I believe Cobalt's Keep is supposed to be in here. And that's usually one that I do buy some stuff from. So I want to find them. We do have our freeze-dried candy booth over here. This was sharing the booth with the Hang It Up booth last year. These have a lot more. But I think we've tried most of these at the fairs last year, so it's probably nothing worth checking out there. But I do want to find Cobalt's Keep, so I've got to buy some mystery dice. And of course, you got Capital Books, see the manga selection. And of course, look for great cosplayers like that Darkwing Duck that crossed in front of us just a moment ago. Let's look around some more. All these prop weapons. Still no shovel. We found a booth that actually has Lorcana boosters, the newer ones, the second series ones, and they're actually a fairly reasonable price. So we may grab a couple of those, and we'll open those in the haul portion of the video. We also actually have a whole box at home of the first series boosters that we need to do a video on later on. And they have Doctor Who trading cards. 170 though. That's kind of my whole budget for the day.
Are you guys looking for anything? A little mix and match stuff. Laconic here, a little bit locally, Pokemon, mix and match stuff over there, and then accessories, and then we have more DVDs over there.
We found another booth that had Lorcana boosters, both first and the newer ones. That was a little bit cheaper than the booth we bought for more LED Gengar. So we'll get some more of those. So we'll have like 6 packs of boosters to open up at the end of this video, which that'll be fun. Still haven't found Kobold's Keep though. Over here though we do have the board game area, and I believe these are all games you can take out and just play on the tables here. Looks like somebody's got a full set of Villainous going over here. We have like the whole collection of these games except for the new Oogie Boogie one, but we haven't actually played them yet. But yeah, they're all set up here so you can play. Guess you could, again, be a good way to come kill some time if you don't want to just spend all your time wandering around the vendors hall. The gaming room is actually a really good thing to come take advantage of.
You're like, I don't need it.
We have Starfinder, we do the space version of Pathfinder. And then we have some more vendors over here. So, we found Kobold's Keep. It just looks totally different because they're in a different location. It's a little more open. So I do need to get myself a blind bag of dice if they have some good ones. We do always kind of make a point of buying something Kobold's Keep. They also have it's like the card sleeves for Lorcana. But we've just got ourselves a set of those. It's like they have some deck boxes too, possibly.
Hello again.
Hello.
Always good to see you guys. How's the con treating you this year?
So far, so good.
Fantastic. What do you think of the new setup?
I didn't recognize you from a distance because it's all opened up more.
I know, it's weird, right? We were like, we have so much room for activities. Nobody's like beating each other up and trying to get in.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, so a local game maker came to me at the SAC Gamers Expo, and he was saying that he had some Table Star games, and he was making some local games, and he had that.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Definitely niche if you're in the area.
Yeah.
You definitely know the stuff there. But
Tower Bridge, McKinley Park.
if you're interested, that'd be the first one to sell. I'd give it to you for 20, so I'll give you $5 off.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Thank you. I hope it's fun. I have yet to play it, so.
It's really interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
don't see a lot of Sacramento-based games other than
Exactly.
Sacramentopoly kind of stuff.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that's right. That was a couple years ago now.
So we definitely have broken our rules about not buying stuff on the first pass through, except for Kimchi Kawaii, because in the Player's Paradise we did pick up some Lorcana boosters, some deck box, some card sleeves, and of course I did go get my mystery dice from Kobold's Keep in the new, much more open booth. Now we're going to transfer over into the more traditional vendors hall, which is a lot actually kind of quieter because there's not arcade games in here. But I was wondering how this would look, and I kind of thought maybe the aisles would work. I heard that there are some vendors who couldn't get in this year due to the new setup limiting space. And it was kind of surprised because I kind of thought there'd be more vendors due to there being some new areas. But apparently not. I saw a couple of vendors commenting that they weren't able to get in, they were on the wait list, and they didn't think they would get off of it. So I thought maybe the aisles would be wider because of the being less vendors overall. But no, that doesn't seem to be the case either. It's actually quite crowded in here for a Friday. But you can see over there the wall up for the separation between this and the artist alley. So let's take a look around through here. We have to find Kimchi Kawaii. If there's anything that we want to pick up from her. And of course, check out the rest of the vendors hall. So I've only been in here for a few minutes now, and I will say that it feels a lot tighter. There definitely aren't wider aisles, like I was thinking there might be from the pictures. It feels a lot tighter. It feels more closed and a little more claustrophobic for some reason. I guess because at the back here, instead of being the like low artist alley booths, it's the more traditional high up vendors booths. Also interesting to see some of the vendors that are here every year, like Yay for Anime, are in much smaller booths than they normally are. I mean, Yay for Anime has been in the same kind of corner spot for like a decade, and this time they are in a much smaller single spot, and they really can't show off their wares as well there as they usually do. We're still looking for Kimchi Kawaii. She's supposed to be somewhere towards the back here from the map. Now, there's still a lot of art in here, as you can see. They're in the vendors hall. I'm not gonna shy away from it. I'm just not gonna intentionally show it off. But yeah, haven't found Kimchi Kawaii just yet. But listen, I was wrong about one thing. They did not pull the wall out to separate off the vendors from Artist Alley. We have crossed over into Artist Alley. This black curtain here is the end of the vendors hall. I kind of thought there'd be another wall, because yeah, there are the autographs over that way. So we've gone too far. Let's back into the vendors hall and continue our look for Kimchi Kawaii. We found her. All right, camera goes off for a minute here. $80. So we've got our Kimchi Kawaii fixed in. Now we can just do kind of try to do a proper view of the hall. Normally, we just go up and down each aisle, but it's not really possible with this new setup. It feels very crowded in here for a Friday. Definitely feels very tight. I feel like tomorrow this room could be a little hard to navigate. So that's part of why you come on Friday, though. You try to enjoy the day, well, I mean the quieter of the days. Ooh, Red Hulk. So yeah, we're gonna try to wander around now and just kind of see what else there is to see. There are new vendors. There are going to be some vendors that are missing. There's going to be pretty much everybody in new setups because they're in new locations. And so talking to one of the vendors, and they said that supposedly this experiment is just for the next two, or this show and the next show, and then they'll see, you know, how it worked out. I'm wondering if that's the same thing with the VIP stuff. So we'll see if next winter this goes back to its more of a previous format. I like the new gaming area. I like there's like the vendors in there and stuff. I mean, the games have always been there, but they were in a room that we never really went into. But yeah, this just feels very tight. Oh, hey, it's Chopper.
Goddamn, bro. He's leaving it. Nah, fuck you.
Hey, Chopper.
Yeah. Everything's like scooching.
Loved you in Ahsoka.
You guys have fun.
You too.
He's on the other side. They aren't clockwork.
Magkano? Magkano siya? Magkano? 20?
Yeah, it's a model kit. Yeah. Everything here is color coded, so you probably don't need any picture at all. Maybe some.
It's fine. I might get the model kit.
No, that's a red list. It's just like that, except it has a white list.
And here we have our obligatory booth that doesn't make a ton of sense here. It's not insurance this time, it's T-Mobile. I mean, it does make sense and it doesn't make sense. And there's always one of those booths here. So It's nice that it's not insurance this time or vegetable of the week club. T-Mobile, I think, makes a little bit more sense. And it is, yeah, it is very, very busy in here today for a Friday. I think maybe it's the last Friday of the winter holidays for a lot of the schools, so maybe that's part of why it's busier.
Although you can buy glaze on Target.
I have the.
So we finished our first walkthrough of the main exhibitors hall. We're gonna head over into Artist Alley now, which means, of course, that you won't be coming with me. Most booths in Artist Alley do ask to be no photographs, so I'm going to send this video as well and not video in that area, unless like we see like a good cosplayer or something, but probably not. So I definitely have opinions on this new setup, but we'll talk about those a little later on. I will see you after Artist Alley. Well, you know we're going into the adult area because there's a curtain where they're doing age checks. I don't know if they'll let me do that busting out the ID. Well, let's find out. They may not even allow filming in there. Who knows? Let's find out. All right, we've made it through security, and here is the underground market. Let's go see if I can, like, if anything in here is YouTube friendly. And I'm gonna say no, it's not. We'll see you when we're done in here. Okay, so the underground market was both exactly what I thought it would be and a little bit less than I thought it would be. It's definitely the same stuff that you have normally, but without post-its covering the naughty bits. Hey, cool MST cosplays. And then down here also we have, there's a bingo room, there's the nerdy naughty theater, and there is some sort of adult. This is strange enough, I think I said at the beginning of this video that I thought they had like Pokemon Live labeled as an adult panel. It is not. It is an all ages panel, despite I'm sure being very foul-mouthed. We may stay around and watch it. So what do we have in here? We have like literally nothing we're gonna come back for. I mean, that could be interesting, but at the same time as the Pokemon Live panel. So yeah, we'll head on out of the adults only area. Yeah, for whoever this is for, I'm sure it's great. It's just, it's not, I'm not the person it's for. Okay, so we're taking another break to have ourselves a coffee, and let's have some thoughts about the changes. So I like the Player's Paradise area. I think that's a good idea. I don't necessarily know that it should have been right there because it takes up space out of the what should be the vendors hall and the artist alley area. But I like that they've put vendors in there because it gives me a reason to go in. I don't normally go in the gaming area because there's no vendors in there. Having vendors in there, I realized that maybe I should have been going in there the whole time because I think particularly tomorrow might be a good time to borrow a game and just like camp out on a table and play one, because I feel like the vendors hall is going to be completely unnavigable. The removal of rows makes it kind of seeming like impossible for there to be an organized flow of traffic. People can't just go up and down the aisles because you have these little clusters in the middle you have to kind of circle around. And I mean, already today on a Friday, normally the quiet day, the chill day, the easy day for SacAnime, it was hard to move around in there at times. It was a little overcrowded, and I fear tomorrow is going to be a lot worse. I mean, Saturday's usually worse. Even in the old assortment or the old setup, it can be hard to move around in there. But we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow's like. But it does feel like it feels more crowded. It feels like there's less stuff. Artist Alley especially feels there's less stuff. I wasn't sure if that was just an issue of the fact that before they had like a bunch of short aisles, and now they have like 2 or 3 long aisles. But a vendor did tell me that they think that the artist alley got cut by about 50%. So I don't think it's my imagination or just the reallocation of space. I think there's legitimately less people in artist alley than normally are. The style aisle room I think is a good idea. I think, you know, it may take a few years to develop into kind of its own thing. I think the underground room is a good idea, but again, it may take time to develop. It's what I thought it was going to be, which is to say all the naughty artwork without post-it notes covering things. But also, it's small enough. I thought there'd be more vendors in there. I thought there'd be more to it. It's not really my thing anyways, but for the people who it's for, I think, you know, they deserve a little bit more than what they're getting. But I mean, it's hard to tell how much of my lack of enthusiasm for these new changes are just, you know, change is scary, and how much of it is legitimately this is just not better. But if what I heard about them only doing this for 2 shows and then reevaluating is true, then, you know, we can see how it works for this time and see how it works in the summer, and maybe they'll change it back or try something else entirely different. So there's a couple more things we do want to do here today on the first day. There's a concert starting at 5 o'clock I want to check out, and I do want to go see the Pokemon Live panel. Yes, we saw it back in the summer, but you know, it's somewhat off the cuff. It's always going to be a little different. So we'll go watch it. There probably won't be a lot of that in the video, just because I did, I think, like 5 minutes of it in the last video. And they post their entire panels up on their YouTube channel. I think it's 5th Gen Not Pokemon is their YouTube channel. So you can go watch the entire panel from there. And I encourage it. It's fun. I enjoy their panels. Or even his panel. It's mostly just like the one person whose name I have never bothered to learn. But yeah, we're gonna finish our coffees and then head back in. Go check out that concert. I don't know if we'll be able to record there or not. We'll check it out. Check out the Pokemon panel, and which again is not listed as an 18+ panel, despite the adult language in it. And then probably call it a day for day one.
Not Hawaii. Straight up.
Because I know him.
You knew my name. That's weird.
Oh shit. Oh.
Yeah! Oh, what the? No, legitimately, that was super weird.
I could have just put everyone in front of you. Why are you going so fast?
So it's more open to have like photo shoots and stuff? Right. Yeah. They kind of closed it all off. Ooh.
Hello, SacAnime 2024. Welcome. Tonight, let's get started with our first performer. All the way from Washington, D.C. metro area, please welcome Twill, Distilled. SacAnime, how are you doing? Oh, I like you guys already. My name is Twill Distilled, and like she said, I am from the East Coast. When she says Washington, she does not mean Washington State. She means like the capital. So, you guys have been awesome so far. This is my first time here, first year at SacAnime. Y'all rock. I love to sing and perform, so if you guys want to dance and go crazy, I would super love that. Are you guys ready? Are you ready to turn the power up, SacAnime? Yeah, she's such a star, yeah, the mind feeder, she's a girl. She's our leading little lady, shit, I think I'm gonna be sick, screw this chick. But you can probably go poop tonight, but that's just it. Acting like she's the shit, who can help us a bit? Honey, tell the lie, honest, the truth is a lie, and I got accept of this right. I want it out and die, like you should if I know me more. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. You know I love those things you do. Oh, baby, my life. No, no. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. Oh. And I wonder if we are ever gonna change. Living under the sea till nothing else remains. We don't need another hero. We don't need to know the way home. All we want is like we own a thunderbolt. So what do we do in life? We live on the road. Will the story shine like a light? Or is walking in the dark? Is it all or nothing? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Twill and Distilled. Again, you can find her at Style Isle, and you can also find her on Instagram and Spotify at Twill Distilled. Up next, from the Bay Area, we have Aimai Mirai. But first, I want you all to stand up, because we're gonna get rocking.
はい、みんなこんにちは。We are Aimai Mirai. We got so much anime for you tonight. If you know the song, please sing along with us. We're gonna start off with Zenzen Sensei. Yeah, stay for the next song. But those last two were, God knows, from the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. And of course, Ikanai Borderline from Across Delta. Those two throwbacks for you. All the Zoomers out there, look them up, I guess. Well, that was quite a trip. We're gonna take you back to a story of my youth. Boys and girls.
Hey, Pikachu!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a panel about Pokemon Live from the Foundation for the Eradication of Gen 5 Pokemon, because we get rid of those little fuckers, don't we? Boo. Yeah, boo Pokemon Black White, not boo my opinions. My opinions are correct. I'm Max.
I'm Thomas.
And together we're giving a presentation. So, before we start, who here was aware that Pokemon Live was a thing before knowing about this panel? Yeah, Spencer, keep that hand. Okay, so two people. And before we talk about musicals, we have to talk about the history of the music. I know. This is a trap. Yeah, this is a trap. You think I could talk for an hour about Pokemon Live? Yeah. Honestly, they're right. Yeah. Especially if we worked in like all the foreign versions. Musicals have been around a long time. In fact, the first recorded musical is, of course, Jesus Christ Superstar, which came out in about 32 CE. See, we have King Herod basically inventing the whole Richard Simmons look.
Isn't that biblically correct?
Yeah, this is biblically correct. It's why because musicals are inherently autobiographical. It's why we know so much about the ancient Roman Empire, like the fact that they all have guns. Is it Pokemon Live yet?
No! Yes! You only have a top hat as it will distinguish you from everyone else in the crowd. After all, it worked for the world's most famous musical goer, Abraham Lincoln.
I know, it was like too soon. There's one necessary accessory, and that is, of course, the Pokemon Rave Wand that you could buy at Pokemon Live around like what, $5.99, and now on eBay for $599. And I know you're saying, Max, that is clearly a flashlight with a plastic accessory on it. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. What did you expect? It's a Pokemon toy. But it was great. So you could wave it in the air, you know, like cheer Pikachu on when he's fighting Giovanni. Or on those dark scenes, you could pop off the lightsaber and shine it onto the stage so the actors could find out where they're going and definitely not get blinded, trip, and fall off the stage.
That definitely didn't result in anyone on production being injured.
No, not at all. Anyway, after this, Giovanni announces he's the one giving away the diamond badge. I gotta know, what happened to Blue? I thought he was the gym leader in Viridian now.
Giovanni broke his legs.
So Giovanni Tanya Harding Blue.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I thought Giovanni was going to jail. Could he just be a gym leader again?
Maybe.
We're in for a long year, aren't we?
Yeah.
Let's get hung up on something else. Where's the movie theater that Ash was supposed to take her to? I've played the games. There isn't a movie theater. Unless it's like one of these unmarked buildings in Saffron City. That one kind of has a vibe.
Show some art house.
Yeah, Ash is gonna go take her to see The Holdovers.
It ends with James asking him about don't ask, don't tell, which Giovanni ignores and then starts.
I think that's actually SacAnime's COVID policy. Don't ask if you're sick and don't tell anyone if you are. But it's okay because, you know, Ash has his best friends and has the song My Best Friends. So he starts singing about his best friends. Misty, who's mad at him because he forgot her birthday, which is fair. And Brock, who again threw out the map so he could hit on some girls like he was about to be featured in a podcast. So with that knowledge, what Pokemon would you pick to fight Giovanni? Because that's what Ash is talking about right now.
Based on the typing, I'd say anything but Pikachu.
You're right, Pikachu.
All right. Is your dad a Snorlax or a Ghastly? Which is the most polite way of asking if your mom is single, by the way.
Which one is your dad?
Ghastly.
My mom's a Ghastly too, yeah. We have to circle back to that, right?
Yeah.
So, Ash is not aged. He is perpetually 10. He was 11 for like one day and they retconned it. And it's not like an Andy Milonakis thing where he's getting older mentally but not physically. No, he's just always 10. He remembers things from previous times. Yeah.
Isn't he getting younger as a person?
No, he's still 10. But Misty is canonically aging, which means at some point Misty's gonna look like this, and the only place she can visit Ash is on Epstein's Island. So anyway, Brock decides to sing another song. It's called Two Perfect Girls, and it's all about how he wants to be in a monogamous relationship with both Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy. Which, I mean, Brock, you're 15 and Jenny's a cop. That feels like a bad idea. I don't know.
And that's the musical.
That's not the panel, though. You can't clap yet. We still have, Jesus Christ, 18 slides. The entire existence of this musical hinged on one person. And that is, and I'm not kidding, the voice actress for Pikachu. Who had right to refusal over the thing. And ended up like having enough creative control to change the scenes so that Pikachu would better represent Pikachu. And recorded direct audio. Yeah, she didn't stop this. She could have stopped this. So special thanks to YouTuber and freelance video editor Benjamin Delbert for providing the most watchable version of Pokemon Live. If you go on YouTube and look for Pokemon Live, you're going to want to get the Delbert cut. That guy spent like 4 years scouring various fan cams and other recordings to put together what is almost viewable. We'd like to thank Deaf Trainer Joe for catching Jigglypuff, because Jigglypuff just needed a friend, and now she has one. And then Radio City Music Hall for allowing this stage show to be produced.
Oh, you're done, dude.
With the motorcycle.
Hey, how we change that face of yours?
All right, so we saw Twill Distilled, we saw Aimai, Mirai, we went and saw the Society for the Annihilation of 5th Gen Pokemon do their Pokemon Live panel again, but you know, it's always a little different every time they do it. And we basically shut it down. The vendors hall is now closed. Actually was going to go back in there, but they ended at exactly the same time as our last panel there ended. So I guess we will call day one done. I did enjoy the concerts. That's something we don't really do. And you know, for the person who commented previously on last time's video that there's more to the convention than the vendors hall, well, there you go. We did more than the vendors hall today. There's not much more to the convention than the vendors hall, but there is more, and I feel we've what there's not this year is the auto show. The car show is not that. That kind of disappoints me. I guess because there's possibility of rain. Indeed, it's meant to rain tomorrow quite badly. People probably want to have their fancy anime cars sitting out here with all the openings on it, sitting open to let the rain in. So I get that. I understand that. But it's sad. That was a cool thing last time. But we have new stuff this time. I'm not a big fan of the vendor hall. I think tomorrow the vendor hall is going to be largely unnavigable. We may have to definitely go see some more panels because we may just be able to move around the vendor hall, especially during the prime time of the day. We do want to check out some panels tomorrow, though. See what's going on in the live room. I really haven't looked. And we do actually want to make over... I'm not in the right place to look at it. It's on this side of it. It's actually the other side of this building here. Do check out the Sheraton's SacAnime menu, including the new SacAnime cocktails. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow as well. But yeah, that wraps up day one. We leave with money still in our pockets, and that's always a good thing. And momentarily, we will see you back here for day number 2. Say what you want about SacAnime. There may be criticisms, some valid, some not. But I think this proves that this convention is on fire.